Hey kids, welcome back to Honestville. Before we get started this episode, just want to go through one sort of brief news item. This Sunday, I will be doing another live streaming event on YouTube Live. It's kind of similar to the sort of speedrun type thing I did with the 3-hour 1 million Sims challenge, except this time I am going to be basically trying to build a city. Going to be sort of a speedrun challenge, and I'm going to try and max out the international airport as quickly as possible. And I'll talk about the mod setup I'm going to use for that and stuff. I'll be posting that video. I'll be posting, like, scheduling it tomorrow, so you should be able to see the details. But yeah, this Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing another one of those really awesome sort of speedrun type live streams. It was a lot of fun last time. There were lots of people watching. And so yeah, we'll see how fast I'm able to do that. Rather than set myself a time limit, I'm just going to say, how fast can I do it? I'm assuming that maybe 3 hours will be enough, kind of like the 1 million Sims city, but it's going to be another one of those kind of speedrun challenges. I think it's going to be super fun. So check that out here on YouTube Live, Rob's Red Hotspot, this Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So it should be fun. Let's do our naming suggestions that I've received. I've received a few good naming suggestions in the last week or so since the last episode came out, and then I'll show you what happened on the live stream as usual. So I have from Festa Zombie, regular viewer, a name for this brand new elevated train line, which I will be showing you more in detail shortly, because we made it during the Twitch stream. But so his name suggestion is Rush Force 10 Line, which I think is hilarious. I also have a suggestion from Michael Hullen, or Hullen, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, for the pond in Robriel Park here, which I made a few episodes back. And we're going to call that, I'll just put it here, right, the park name is there. He suggested the Frog Pond, which I think is hilarious as well. OBP Super Gamer recommended that I name one of those spinny pizza places Peter's Protein Pies, which is a fantastic name suggestion. I cannot for the life of me find one of those. It's one of the low wealth commercial lots, so if I see one during this episode, I will certainly use that naming suggestion. I'm going to hold on to it. Even if I don't name it this episode, I'm going to hold on to that because I think it's a hilarious name. I like the business names. They're kind of fun. And I have one more naming suggestion, which is going to be over in a neighboring city. But before we do that, let me show you more in detail. So the main focus of last Monday's Honestville Extra Twitch stream was the completion of this elevated train line, which runs into the, what is it called, the southeast ward. I named those wards with like this like very coherent system, and I can't for the life of me remember what they're called. But you know, the tramway system that turns into an elevated rail. Here it goes down to subway. We did this a few episodes ago, and what I did is I extended it, and was after doing the tramway on roads experiments. I kind of wanted to try tramway on, or sorry, elevated rail on road, the dual-decker networks, which can be found here. We're gonna do some more of this episode, so I will be showing you some more this episode. Where is it? L rail over roads. It's here. Yeah. L rail dual double-decker network pieces. You got over avenue and you've got over road, and there's various network widening mod things as well. They're a little bit finicky. They're very similar to the tramways in terms of how they work. But overall, it was pretty easy. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not sure whether these lots will develop while they're facing it, so I may have to do some rezoning at some points. But the buildings that are already there don't seem to be abandoning, so that's cool. I also got to try out a whole bunch of these stations. I highly recommend. Personally, I like to do these kind of, you know, early 20th century style cities, and I really like the Madison Wells station, which I think is included in the network add-on mod. Ooh, that's a cool building. Is that a vanilla building? Ben Tower. Huh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna make that historical. Quite like it. Yeah, so this one is really cool. It's very easy to place as well. It doesn't, like, it just sort of sits evenly on either side of the intersection in a nice way. So that's a really cool one. And then the line just kind of continues along the straight here. I was able to kind of slide it in there without deleting too many buildings. You can see the odd building that I had to delete along the way just to see what I was doing, basically. But yeah, here we have, this is another one of the same, Madison Wells. I've got some other stations in here though. This one is the Ashland station, which I think also comes with the network Addon Mod, if I recall correctly. I don't think this is something I downloaded, but you know, who knows, I always forget. It's quite a long station, but again, very similar, kind of New York or Chicago style, with this sort of, whoa, that's weird. Oh, there we are. With these sort of stairwells going up like this, these sort of long stairwells on the perpendicular street. And yeah, just kind of in general, this very, very interesting design. Some of the stops I was at in London, the London Overground, kind of have that vibe to them as well, with the sort of wooden stairwells and kind of old school. I like it a lot. I got another one of those Ashland stations there. I'm just going to kind of follow this line. As you can see, it doesn't really, as far as I know, I can just clean this up as we go along here. As far as I know, it doesn't support diagonals. So that's the thing. So I had to sort of cross over like this, but it's not so bad. There's a really good puzzle piece to kind of leave the street like this, and just kind of slide it over here. And once this area builds up again, it'll be interesting to see how the buildings look around it. This is a more modern station. Which I believe also works on an avenue. Here I've actually placed a pillar over there, so it sort of just looks like a doorway, but this could work, I think, over an avenue or possibly 2 one-way streets or something like that. So some of these stations are you know, fit over different road types. There are some graphical glitches I noticed. There might be pieces that I haven't quite placed correctly, but it works. It seems to be carrying traffic, so aside from, this is the standard Victorian one. Aside from the odd graphical glitch, everything seems to be working. The standard Victorian one. And then we go to the neighbor connection. Now there's nothing in this city tile, so this is just kind of future-proofing. It is, however, getting some use already. The line over here is quite busy near this neighbor connection. It's a little bit less busy as we get into the central area. I'm going to be trying to force a lot of office jobs into this sort of office district, and hopefully in and around the station here. We also have a second subway line, which I made basically to try and get this one going, and also to connect the subway network to the central train station. And so I was thinking that we would take this subway line above ground, and possibly even like here. I might even get rid of these subway stations, and we'll take it above ground. We'll do that this episode. Someone pointed out during the live stream that's probably not the safest idea to have the subway station in the middle of a roundabout, you know, pedestrian-wise, which is a good point, fair point. A fair point. It's not crossing roundabouts to get to subway station when you're running late for work would be dangerous. So yeah, it looks like there's a subway station there as well. These are getting very lightly used, but we will want to be connecting up that city tile. I also want to build another subway station. We've got some very busy roads up here from the kind of industrial neighborhood. So I'm thinking a line probably that runs along here, and then a line that runs along here as well. So we may or may not do that this episode. I was thinking maybe of doing the elevated one over Avenue here, because I really like to have the trains above grounds. I also like, one of the principles I'm going to try and go by here, just because I find it kind of interesting, is to, rather than just have like intersections, like subway intersections underground, I like to have the lines as they overlap be grade separated, so that, you know, one track has to run under the other. Whether that is tramway, elevated train, or subway, I like the idea of the different lines, you know, running on different grades. I think it's just more interesting, more fun. It makes a more interesting challenge to kind of have this multi-layered transit system. So yeah, and I also think in a city this size, you know, it doesn't make sense to just tunnel everywhere, right? I guess that's kind of my attitude with the subways as well. I mean, I don't think we're going to tunnel when it's kind of feasible to do otherwise. So this section of subway line here, I had just put in as a placeholder. We'll put that above ground, which will be fun. Next up, yeah, we're gonna head over next door. Drop a save. I've finally received all the parts to install I was missing some cables to install my new SSD on my computer. So that's going to, the game is now installed on the SSD. I managed to move over all of my mods and SimCity 4 onto the new SSD that I have installed, which is essentially for my games. My data and videos and stuff are starting to take up all the place on my hard disk, and it was a mechanical drive, and I have an SSD. I already had a small SSD, but I needed a bigger one. So anyway, I'm going to be playing like New City and other more recent games now that I have things installed in an SSD. So there's going to be some exciting stuff coming out for the channel. Hopefully soon, when I get the time, I will be starting another series on New City. Hopefully I can get some better performance out of that game now that I have it installed in an SSD. We shall see. In the meantime, though, we have a naming recommendation for this neighborhood. Yep. And there's one other thing that I want to show you guys that I did during the Twitch live stream. The Twitch live streams, for those of you who are unaware, happen on, where's the university? It's here. Happen on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if that time works for you, you should come hang out. It's a lot of fun. There's more and more people every week. I've been really enjoying it. Looks like there's garbage in this city. Kind of amusing to see the garbage piling up in the university. That's what that is, right? I should fix that. Anyway, we have a naming suggestion for this university, which is Robford University. I'm down with that. And that is from Rabogeneer. I have not noticed much of a performance improvement for SimCity 4. I would say load times might be a little bit better with the SSD. I have not seen a huge performance improvement, frankly, and I really do think, like, you guys all know from watching these videos, and probably from just in general watching SimCity 4 content, it's an old game. We're going to call this the Robford neighborhood as well. Just call it kind of Robford. The sort of Robford suburb, this nice park. Yeah, it still lags a bit in terms of when I drag around the screen like that, and the load times are better. I've been kind of testing things out. Wait, pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza. There he is, the spinny pizza guy. There's a lot of these in the same area. I kind of want to give this Peter's Protein Pies a special place, a special home, not surrounded by like 3 other identical pizza places, so... Oh, that's cool. Did anyone ever notice that this has the Sims logo on it? That's kind of cool. What is this? Stores. It says stores, but it's got the Sims logo on it. Huh. Cool. I wonder if that's a mod. Cool houses. I never do low density, so I always forget about these, like, really nice houses. They look really nice. That's a busy parking lot, too. Holy shit. Oh, it's a car dealership. Sweet. Someone had recommended I name a car dealership at one point. I'm gonna make that historical. Car dealership on a tramway line, that's hilarious. Anyway. Why is this pizza place called Gustav's Knickknacks and Gewgaws? That's not well thought out. I don't know if these names are random. They might be random. I've never really known how that works. They might just be random. Peter's Protein Pies. Love it. Thank you, OBP Super Gamer. Regular commenter. Always enjoy the name recommendations, which you can submit in the comments of any video for pretty much anything. Anything except streets. Streets are a hassle to name. I want to name streets. I had a fantastic suggestion to name all of the streets in the central city after philosophers. Great suggestion. I went ahead and did it, and then accidentally deleted all my names. And so that's that. That's just, much as I have the patience to do that kind of thing, I would rather not do it and then have it all lost and then have to do it again. And I don't want you guys to, like, the idea behind these naming suggestions is to sort of make it fun so that you guys can sort of have a little impact on the city. Of course, I also listen to your comments in terms of strategies and other suggestions, but I think it's fun for that kind of collaborative aspect of naming things in the city, and also coming up with names is hard. In other news, we started a new city, southeast ward, in this little corner tile. Now, I had built the highway system here, either off screen or on Twitch or something, and I started to develop it. Started to develop the tile around this. So we've got an industrial area around this rather busy highway interchange, which I'm still very happy with, man. I've probably harped on this way too much at this point, but really, it was just really nice to get this working as well as I did. So, yep. I was really happy with this sort of multi-level exchange, and we've got an industrial area in there, as well as a medium density kind of edge of the city type area, and then we get into the suburban area, and the highway is being extended as well. This is a work in progress. These interchange systems. I was going to try and create a frontage road situation and ended up just kind of slapping down a one-way road like that, which is not really what my intention was. It does work for now, and I'll probably just continue on this model, but I'm going to do some work on that off screen, see if I can find a better frontage, sort of compact frontage road solution here, because I like the idea of a sort of urban highway that's in that configuration. But I'm going to work on it. I'm not totally satisfied with this arrangement. In other news, I have a new mod. I'm sorry this episode is starting with so much news, but periodically it's good to kind of, you know, show you guys the mods and stuff. I downloaded a mod which one of you suggested on Twitch. I wish I had written down the name because it's just these are just excellent suggestions. Both the Plaza Parks mod, which I showed you guys at one point, and this is the open grass tile mod that allows you to place 3x3 open grass tiles and 2x2 somewhere in here. There's a 2x2. Anyway, I love this, and I'll tell you why I love this. Because I don't make enough parks in SimCity 4. I don't make enough parks because it's tedious. Placing parks is like placing bus stops. It's just something you have to do a bunch. And, you know, I obviously, someone made a comment that I didn't know how to play the game because I placed too many bus stops. And you're right, I don't know how to play the game. I placed too many bus stops. No, but in all seriousness, it's a hassle to place bus stops. It is a hassle to place small parks everywhere. What is more interesting is to make these sort of larger open spaces that are more visible when you're zoomed out. And so there was this kind of interesting street. I've been starting to use a lot more of these natural curves as well, or somewhat natural curves anyway. And so it's kind of cool to, even just as a place marker, just plant a bunch of those down. Just like drop a bunch of those down and then gradually fill in the park later with, you know, rewards and like, oh, we got a statue. We can put a statue in the park, right? Like, you know, it's kind. I find it's kind of interesting to use it a bit as a placeholder or marker, and that way you don't necessarily have to landscape the entire park. You don't have to landscape the entire park just because you sort of want to have a park there or whatever. Just having that larger tile really speeds up that process. That's what I'm trying to say in my long-winded way. So yeah, we'll do a little mirror statue here, and we can make a little plaza on that corner of the park. It'd be great if I could find some like better open paved areas, because this is a little bit batshit crazy. I'll rework it at some point. These ones have a few different textures, the ones that come with the game. You just place them and it sort of randomly selects them, but you can actually, if you want particular ones, particular spots, you can just kind of place them over and over again. I think that sort of works. Yeah, so. But it's a little bit frustrating, right? And so I'd like to find some textures for that as well. Little details. While we're in this tile, why don't we do some work here while we're in this tile, and then we'll go build that subway line. I'm thinking this might be a little bit of a longish episode, mostly because I've bored you with all of that kind of opening nonsense. We need more water, I think. Yep. Do a little bit of building this tile. It's a corner tile. It's kind of neat. Corner tiles are kind of interesting. Let's see if there's a spot here. I'm kind of enjoying... Oh, I also have another mod. I also have the Census Repository Vault. This is a useful mod that allows you to get a more detailed view of your... just this stuff. Basically your demand caps. If you place them in the entire region, I believe you get like a regional total for various things, so it allows you to see information about the region that you can't normally see. Census Repository Vault, or I think it's just called there's two of them. There's another one too. There's this is the Census Repository Facility, which, and I believe these actually slightly boost your demand as well. I've actually been experimenting with the spam mod, which is also installed. I've used it before, it's just been a long time. And I have put it in place, and I've been experimenting with it to see if we can get it to work in Honestville. And so in that process, in the process of experimenting with the ever difficult agriculture in this game, I also installed the census repository thing, so I will be trying to remember to place these in all of our cities. Ooh, that's a terrible placement. Wow, I didn't know it was going to overlap. I guess there isn't just a straight-up overhang on that, on those 3-lane highways. I always forget that. There we go. Thank you. Right, so we got this little suburb going on here, with these towers along the park. Fix our water problem. I also noticed that the central city, which I should have showed you while we were there, but I forgot, the central city has negative demand now for residential. I have also managed, by some miracle, I've managed to use up all of the high-tech industry. I put a little bit more on the edge of Honestville, so that's great. Happy with that, because it was kind of crazy. It was getting out of control. So for now, let's kind of link this up. Now, we have an on-ramp here, but it wouldn't be the worst idea to have an avenue. It's probably overkill, though. Let's not. Let's just actually take this and transition it to road for now. If we need to increase the capacity, we'll do it later. Perfect. I will make this road. Add some bus stops on it. Like I said, it's annoying to place bus stops. But yeah. Same thing, like I said, the same thing with parks. I know someone also recommended, and this is something I used to do, like, you can sort of take the small parks and, not that one, you can take the small parks and just sort of place them in these empty spots that are created by the bus stops. Again, to me that's just like, you know, that just sort of is doubling the tedium of the bus stops. It's just my point of view. You know, if you guys, I know some of you guys, you know, some people in general are just gonna love, kind of every block of their city is just going to have, you know, the level of love and care of, you know, a lot of work, basically, and I totally appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate people who put a little bit more effort into some of those finer details of the city than I do. And I do sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes I just want to build big cities. And so things like that open grass tile, the 3x3, are just, it's like little details, but it really does work. It really does make a big difference, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's fine. I kind of want to... Ooh, is that going to break? Okay. That was a close one. Let's keep those cul-de-sacs away from the mess. Oh, I built a sound barrier. I'm loving the sound barriers. I don't know if I've done much work with the sound barrier, actually, on the mainline Honestville episodes. Let's do a little work on it now. Just because they are fun and easy. I'm trying to remember the name of the mod. I like to try and name the mods on here, because otherwise someone's going to ask in the comments. It always happens. If I can find the pieces. SM2 sound barriers. Very, very simple to use. It's a little bit daunting when you see these kind of green... A little bit weird when you see these icons, but they're kind of intuitive. The G ones have graffiti on them. Very cool. And there's like a bunch. Graffiti 5, Graffiti 11. There's like, this is a triple length one. There's one of them that's for on slope. But yeah, we can kind of place them like this so that we can have a residential neighborhood right up against the highway in a little bit of a less... in a little bit more of a child-friendly way, let's say. This is an end piece. And then there is a diagonal piece here. There's all sorts of different pieces, and you can, they're pretty self-evident overall. Like, we can have an end piece here, for example. Like that. And now I gotta just find a corner piece. I think it's this one. That one might go here, actually. Oh, maybe not. The other way around. There we are, and then there is a diagonal piece as well. Once you sort of get used to them, and there's a fractional angle one as well, which is cool. Overhanging. There's a bunch of overhanging ones. I'm not sure. I haven't used those ones yet. Oh, there's an emergency exit one. That one's kind of cool. Could have used the on-slope one there. It's a little bit jagged. But yeah, oh, there's a double graffiti one too. Let's put a double graffiti facing the highway. The graffiti is quite well done. I think someone basically scanned images. Like, I wish I could almost zoom again. There is actually a cheat command to. I gotta remember. There's a few cheat commands I want to start using a bit more. Like, there's one that allows you to custom zoom the camera, so we could zoom in on that and take a closer look at what the graffiti looks like. Very cool looking though. Very well done. Nice touch. Nice touch having sort of the graffiti in the city. There's the diagonal one. I'll just do that while I found it. And we just need what did I want? I wanted the emergency exit one. There we go. The emergency exit one, it's really nothing special. It just has a door on it. Kind of cool though. And I'm not going to bother fixing it right now, but there are on-slope pieces. Actually, why don't I just fix it? There is an on-slope piece. This guy here, the jaggedy one, sort of works, but doesn't really jive well with the other ones. That didn't actually make it that much better. But it does work. I have used it. The on-slope one, it kind of extends itself. So for those of you guys who like to use on-slope in every sloping situation, it does work. And there's even an elevated one, but it's only a prototype. It doesn't like this mod was made a while back, and I feel like oh, there's a telephone. Okay, we'll use that one. There we go. Telephone for vehicle breakdowns. Sweet. There's a few little details like that. Very simple one. There are other highway barrier mods. There are other ones, but I'm pretty happy with that one so far. I may at some point find other ones. My menus are getting a bit crowded, so I am a little bit hesitant to add a fuck ton of stuff that just kind of bloats the menus, but it's always cool. I'm using that a lot. I find it really structures these kind of inner suburban areas. That's fine. Let's grab some residential. Actually, I'll get a lot of residential demand. Try and use up as much of it as we can. I've been experimenting with zoning 4x4 as well. I think I might start doing in some of these suburban areas, kind of like that. Maybe we'll do a section of that while we're here. Going to extend the highway, but I'm just going to do that very simple frontage road kind of. It's not a proper frontage road. It's just not. I tried a bunch of stuff on the Twitch stream. The Twitch stream archives, as usual, are up on the channel now. Which, you know, they're a bit rough. They're not. Don't expect the same level of. I want to say the same level of polish. I don't consider these Honestville videos, to be particularly polished. They're just, you know, me kind of casually playing the game. But the stream archives I put up because I'm building in Honestville, and a lot of you guys, some of you people anyway, are following these videos regularly. Judging by your comments and all that, and so I don't want you guys to feel like I'm just building the city in this Twitch stream. Maybe you don't hang out on Twitch, or maybe you can't make it. So I kind of want to at least put the stream archive up. So if you want to see how I did something, but like I said, they're going to be unedited videos because that's just, you know, a 4-hour stream or a 3-hour stream is sort of beyond the level of time commitment I'm willing to put for editing. I might at some point do a sort of highlight reel for one of them that I thought was particularly good or something like that. But yeah, so it is what it is. I'm, you know, it seems as though people are watching them, so that's cool. They get some views. Trying some of these smaller lots, sort of see how they look for the suburban areas. Interested to see. We should have maybe one more bus stop. Here. I don't know. I've basically been doing bus stops every block. Subway stations are like every 4 3, 4, 5 blocks, depending on the area. So I mean, that's just how I've done this for a long time now. So here we got these curves. It's nice long. That's actually a wide radius curve, I think. Only disadvantage of the wide radius curves is you can't always connect roads. You can't connect roads in the middle of them, but just extend this suburban area. And then the next kind of section of the grid I'm gonna do in 4x4 rather than these larger lots. Be kind of interesting. That's fine. Bus stops first, as usual. But yeah, I'm gonna be going through some of the rest of the city, some of the areas of the central city at some points. Not today, but at some point soon. And placing like large green spaces, kind of like the one up here, like this guy. It works really well, and we can just decorate them after. Like it just sort of, you're leaving an empty green space. Kind of inspired, honestly, kind of inspired by New City, which, as I mentioned, I'll be playing soon. Be playing soon on the channel again. I did a short series on New City if you want to take a look at it, with my first impressions of the game quite a long time ago. It's a game that is still in early access on Steam, and at that time I have since gotten the latest beta patches. There's been a lot of work on the game done since my short 7-episode series, which also ultimately ended in me having performance issues with the game. And you know, at a certain point, the game started running so slowly as the city got bigger that I just didn't really feel... I didn't feel particularly inspired to make videos in it. You know, it's not a criticism. Okay. Right. Twice in a row, managed to mash Alt-Tab. Hilarious. Ridiculous and hilarious. Unfortunately, also SimCity 4, as some of you will have discovered on watching the Twitch stream, SimCity 4 does not allow for a borderless window mode, which to those of you who may have like done live streaming on the internet or recorded before, you will know that for many games, borderless window mode is like the best for streaming and recording, especially if you have a second monitor, because it allows you to watch your recording on one screen, potentially do things like, you know, like click on other windows like your recording software while you're recording when you're in borderless window mode, without things flickering and like what just happened, which I may or may not edit out, probably will. SimCity 4 is too old for that. It is just not made with that in mind. It was not made with that in mind, so bit of a hassle. Not the end of the world. I've just kind of gotten used to it. Just gotta be careful not to Alt-Tab when I record these episodes. Haven't done it that often. Kind of surprising. But I'm holding the Shift key and the Alt key and things like that, and then if I just press Tab, then it's game over. Those of you who watch the Twitch stream once again will know what I'm talking about, because every time I have to make an adjustment to my recording software, it involves me. It involves like the screen flickering and just absolute silliness. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Not a big deal. Here we go. Trying to pay attention to the demand of the city. It is, after all, Honestville. I'm trying to... a little bit of a natural growth thing going on here. I am going to be working around... You'll notice that I've kind of gone from the eastern side of the city, like around the edge of the city, trying to fill in those tiles, just because of the... You know, there isn't a way to just sort of gradually build out from the middle, and you know, without constantly switching tiles, but just sort of gradually working around the edge is kind of neat too. Is it time for a bigger school? Ah. I'm gonna stick a third one here. There we go. Are there hospitals in this town? I think there are. Let me just double check your health. Yep, okay. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of experimenting in the game on the side as well. Mostly with the spam mod. The last time I was using spam, it was really glitchy. I wasn't thrilled with it. It was just not, for whatever reason, there was something else that was unstable with my game. It's not glitchy. It's not a glitchy mod. Agriculture in the game is glitchy. And spam, I think, ultimately makes it better. It's a bit weird in terms of job counts. Does not, you know, I've never been particularly happy with how, you know, the sheer number of agricultural jobs that it creates. Gets a bit silly, but it does make agriculture better. Interesting. I'm getting no job zots. Very little job demand. No, we're good. Okay, it's just a sort of a transitional thing. Is this elevated? It needs to be elevated again. Okay. We'll do a quick highway thing and then some quick subway stuff, and we'll wrap this episode up after that. That's pretty good. Sounds good to me. So we're gonna go back up to... Okay, it's a 4-lane highway. Do I need 4 of these guys? Max heights. I need 4. Not sure. Oh yeah. Perfect. Is that how we did this? Oh, I see. Okay. Oh. Yeah, no, this is not how we're gonna do this. Okay. Use the disconnector here just to be safe. I am getting faster at a lot of this stuff. Rather than make that huge bridge, we'll just have that guy go over it somehow. Just for the time being, let's just extend this. And we'll figure out where the exits are going to go. I think the way this exit system works is basically you exit here on this frontage road, and like the whole exit system is like a 5-block system, and this does exist in the real world, not quite in this form, but it does exist where there's kind of a service road, and it's great for urban areas where you're not necessarily gonna put exits at every single step of the way. You don't need to have a complete exit system just for this road. Like, this whole neighborhood is kind of served by these 2 one-way roads. I want to find a way that's a little bit more elegant to do it than what I've done there. So I will be working on that, but not right now. Yeah, we're going to do the same thing with this road here and this avenue, which I think works well. Kind of splitting up the exit system over the 2. So I think what we'll do, we need the flex height to go like right up against the road, actually. I think. Yeah. Basically something like this, and we actually only need it there. Probably closer. Right, closer. Gotten a lot faster at this in the last little while. And every time I do the Monday night Twitch streams, I always do like a bit of this. You know, I don't like to spend... I think sometimes it's fun to spend an entire episode or whatever doing Real Highway, but sometimes it's not. And it's not fun to like watch someone fight with it, so... Which one did I use? Okay. Just this guy. I need 8S. Right, so it's actually... Oh. Oh, I know what it is. I know what one it is. It's the one with the... This one. Yeah. I think. Yep. This guy. you get to know the different ones. I'm going to be doing some tutorial stuff soon. I really want to. It's a big time commitment, the tutorials. But I want to do. I'm starting to like get better at some of this stuff, or remember how to do it, depending on what stuff it is, whether it's the tramways or the highways, stuff like that. Also, some of the new features. And my aim is never to. Wait, was that? Oh fuck. Okay, I forgot. We need this one is gonna go this way, but extend this by 1 or 2. Make it work. There we are. Just fix this guy here. I had a feeling that might happen. Okay, so we're probably actually just going to disconnect all this. But yeah, I like making the tutorials, and you know, I think overall people find them useful. And so I'm gonna try and make a series of, and you know, feedback is always welcome on this stuff. I'm gonna try and make a series of tutorials that are a little bit shorter on specific subjects. I tend to be naturally a long-winded person. I tend to talk a lot in life, not just on YouTube, and so my tendency is to sort of, you know, go into these long, sort of long-form, 45-minute long tutorials where I cover off basics, and I think, you know, I think there's use to that, but I also think people might enjoy short things on, like, the tramway system, and, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, we shall see. This is gonna go here. This is gonna go here for now. Again, this is a workaround. I really will at some point, soonish, anyway. I will work on fixing this and making it nicer, and probably, you know, making it a little bit wider. I do like the very compact 2- and 4-lane highway here, but it doesn't quite. I'm not quite happy with it. Make sure that doesn't screw up. Everything looks good. Hopefully I can run streets under that, no problem. It should be able to. And then we just duplicate the system on this side here. With these, what is it, D1 ramp? D2, I think. That's it. I think that's it. Like that. I don't know how close it can go. We'll find out real quick. This is not a bad overall. Like, if you're looking for a relatively sort of easy to make little urban highway system, it's not the worst. Like I said, not thrilled with it, but do I need to? Okay, then we're good. Not a bad little system. The important thing, as I've just remembered now, is that you have to drag the one-ways into the RHW 4, or whatever it's called. This 2-lane RHW guy. Not vice versa, otherwise you break it, and there is like a slight graphical imperfection as the one-way transfers into it, but not enough for me to worry about it. Not enough for me to worry about it. And yeah, so we kind of have a whole highway system here, which I think is kind of neat. And I feel like, yes, you have to, you know, you sort of have to go by intersections and stuff on these, so it sort of slows down traffic. But it's only 3 blocks. Like, it's just not that big a deal, you know? I'd like to have a ramp over this as well. Let's do that. See if I can squeeze one in the middle there. Should be able to. I'm gonna drop a quick save, just in case. Also allows for commercial activity near the highway, which is kind of cool. So yeah, kind of a neat thing. Kind of a neat thing, for sure. We should be hitting 500k in this episode, I think. Also, I keep forgetting. I keep thinking we're gonna hit it, and then I keep building this low density stuff, and it takes so bloody long. Now that we're building suburbs, What I want is a draggable elevated road viaduct. This thing. Is this actually what I want, though? We'll see. We shall see. I might use RHW. That works. But I need to, yeah, I need to raise the terrain. Cool. This might screw things up. We shall see. Could be easy enough to fix if it does. I'm gonna go out here. 7.5 meters. Looks fine. That 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Could have gone maybe a little closer. Let's not and say we did. Right, and now the little overhangy guy, which is 7.5 meter elevated road viaduct. Actually, this way. There. That. Like that, and then we just need this guy. Go. Wow, that kind of doesn't. What happened? Oh, I'm just missing pillars or something. Tell you what, guys, it's just not quite level, I think. I will work on this off screen. I've done a bunch of these before. You've seen me do it before, either in a tutorial or on these. I will probably fix that, or forget about it and never fix it. We'll see. Let's do another little curvy thing here. I'm quite enjoying. I kind of wish I'd done more of this at the beginning. Honestly, like, I've been playing this game for a long time, and you know, I see people in the comments. I don't claim to be like the world's biggest SimCity 4 expert or anything like that. I make the tutorials because, you know, I know that there's people who are really struggling with it, or who just started and sort of need some pointers, and you know, but I don't claim to be the world's biggest expert. So you know, there are these comments every once in a while. It doesn't get under my skin. I really am not sensitive to it, but there are these comments that are sort of along the lines of like, well, why didn't you do it this way, or you should be using this piece instead of that piece, and it's just like, that's fine. It doesn't bother me, but you know, most of the time when you guys suggest things, I have heard of it before. Believe it or not, I have heard of those things. I probably even used them before. It's been a long time. I've been playing the game for 15 years. I've been using the network add-on mod for, I don't know, 8, 10 years or something. So, you know, it's if you're you know, when you're making those suggestions, there's a pretty good chance that I've heard of it. It's still, I'm not saying don't make the suggestions too. Sometimes, like, I've forgotten about it. Sometimes I haven't used it in years and I've forgotten about it, and so it's great to you know, have someone suggest that I should try a different puzzle piece or whatever. But you know, usually I have, you know, I am aware of it, or have been at some point aware of it. So you know, like I said though, it's not that it bothers me. That's not why I mention it. It's just it's actually more amusing than anything else. And you know, sometimes there's other things that I use or don't use because I have reasons. I don't like them. Sometimes. Not always, though. Okay, so that's done. I cut out a bit of zoning there because trying to get in the habit of that. I tend to get into a zone with a zone. I tend to sort of, you know, get into a little zoning trance, and then the episode time just gets away from me, and there's so much interesting stuff I want to do every episode, and I don't think zoning is necessarily it. But yeah, I'm going to use these open grass tiles and just kind of plot us out another little park here for this neighborhood. There could be municipal buildings or other things kind of surrounding it or whatever eventually. Just kind of a good thing. Not going to bother kind of decorating it yet, but that's something at some point, you know, we'll go back over and you know, I'm going to try and place some more of these. You know, that's probably good for this one, for this tile for now, but try and have some more open spaces kind of integrated into the zoning design, especially as we do these suburban areas. And I think we'll also go back to the Honestville Central and do that as well. Let's press play here. Try and see what kind of population we get. Double check the education. I got some bus stop zots there as well. I'm just gonna go with these small elementary schools. Seem to be needing anything bigger for the time being. I have a feeling that some of this will get upzoned. I have a feeling that these will end up kind of becoming more inner city neighborhoods. Part of the reason I want to experiment with the these sort of 2x10 or whatever blocks rather than the 3x10 or so blocks that I often do is I want to see how they upzone. So, because I imagine that this area will become denser over time. We will see. We will see. Yeah, we have a hospital issue at the hospital. I'm just gonna max that. We build the capacity soon enough. And looks like we have water problems as well. Or I just didn't put water pipes in, more likely. Nah. Right. So, we should be, I'm hoping, just pop out to the regional view here. I find, that's the other thing, another interesting point. This highway is going to extend here. I'm not going to extend this further for the time being, because I think this highway might actually kind of bend over this way. We've kind of got this hilly area here, which I wasn't necessarily planning on. I was kind of planning on following this pattern of developing on the flatlands and sort of maybe doing a little bit more suburban windy stuff up here eventually, but for the time being we might just leave it. And we'll see what we end up doing there. But kind of building in the flat areas of the city first. It doesn't look like we're getting too much commercial demand, which is kind of interesting. Doesn't look like we're getting too much demand of any kind except for residential, which doesn't surprise me because of the taxes I put in on the commercial areas. Probably need some office zones to develop. We got a stadium, an interesting thing to place eventually. And yeah, so that looks like it's mostly developed. Turn the clock a bit more. But yeah, I also find, you know, developing along these in these suburban areas along the highways and the rail lines and all that, kind of winding our way around the edge of the city and extending the transportation lines that are in the central city, and then possibly creating the subways and the new transportation lines so that the city can kind of have a little bit of a coherent form, all while developing naturally. That's sort of what Honestville is about. I had lots of sort of semi-lofty goals when I started the series, and I think we've kind of kept to those more or less, some more than others. Hopefully we are getting agricultural demand because of the census building. I think that's why we're getting it. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any in the whole region because of the way the demand caps work. So we'll see. But I like this. This is kind of like an interesting. When we build them closer together, we get this kind of slightly higher density suburb than we would if we were just doing these 3-tile lots. These build up into like mansions and stuff, whereas here we're getting sort of maybe a middle class suburb with the houses clustered a little bit closer together, which I quite like for an inner city suburb. And yeah, see this here has these have these huge lawn, like this sort of backyard lawn type things. Not very urban. Obviously good for certain circumstances, but I should probably get out of the habit of systematically using the three tile depth zones, I think, especially in the lower density areas. I do it for the medium density because if you zone 2x2 or 4x4 or whatever, what you end up with is buildings that are like that have no back alley whatsoever. So yeah, we're good. Let's pop out, take a look at the regional view. So I don't like to zone too much in any one tile before going to the regional view, within reason, of course, so that things don't get kind of out of control. But yeah, so this is quite nice. It's kind of naturally hugging this development here. We got this kind of interesting thing there. At some points, why have I taken off the city names? At some point, Mount Ozark, I presume, will kind of develop this area as well. Although we've spent so much time in this little corner that I kind of want to wind around the edge here, continue to extend the transit lines. I'm thinking, I don't think we will have a subway line coming in here. Don't think it quite makes sense. Although who knows what kind of thing we might have, kind of going around the edge of the city. Could be interesting. In some ways, I kind of wish that's where the highway was, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know what's gonna go here actually. Interesting. Yeah, it could be a diagonal subway line that kind of terminates here. Maybe one that goes off here, and then we need a subway line like this. I'm thinking this subway line might kind of go off like this. But I have a big one like that, and then maybe one that sort of comes down this one and goes. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, the possibilities are limitless. Possibilities are limitless. On that note, though, I do want to at least show you guys a little bit of the suburban or the subway type stuff I was doing on the live stream. So we'll do that quickly. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, let's delete these 3 stations and kind of rethink this. I'm gonna delete it from here, and I'm not sure whether we'll go up and above the rail or under it. We might rebuild that subway. Probably got some office demand as well, so I should run the clock. They'll want to be doing that. Yes. Okay, well, we do want to go under that because that's the central station. Yep. Okay, and then I think what we want to do is have it come above ground. Somewhere maybe here. Maybe not right there because we've got... But let's have it go on this, let's have it come above ground here then. We'll put a ninja station. Ninja Boulevard Kiosk, which is a bus and subway station at the same time. Gonna keep that little residential neighborhood a little bit intact as well. There we are. And now we want the subway to elevated transition. I don't mind kind of deleting that, so that works perfectly. Bit of a dramatic slope, and we should be able to jog it over onto this street. Have it come through this intersection, might need to be reworked. And yeah, it can run along this this street here. I'll do a couple blocks of it just to show you how it works. Shouldn't be too disruptive to the existing zoning here. We're gonna have to delete some of these smaller office buildings to make it work, and we will need to delete the street. Delete the street. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with that square. That square's been there for quite some time, if I recall correctly. let's go to here. We are going to need to... We don't want to do the neighbor connection with the double-decker network. I don't even think it's possible. Interesting. It'd be an interesting thing to try and arrange here. I'm not going to fuck with that. Because I want to find a solution for that. But it'll be interesting. It's going to kind of end as a work in progress here. But we'll make it work. I'm just going to grab elevated rail, bring it out one tile. Probably right to be around there or so. And what we want to do is go into elevated rail dual decker neighborhood thing. Right? That made sense, right? And somewhere here, I think it's no, it's not that one, but it's this one. And this one goes like this. And these can, we'll see if this works. It might be a bit too tight, but one of the cool things about this network is it's not like the some of the real highway stuff that's like so incredibly inflexible in terms of how and how it can be zoned basically. We'll just use on that for the time being. And some more commercial there. A little cul-de-sac. Actually, no, that would be too much. Okay, can I just... That works. And then, yeah, this is kind of similar to the tramway in that it's a little bit more flexible. You don't need to worry too much about placing the intersections in advance, but it's not the worst idea to place your stations where you want them. We're going to want one here. Sure. I think overall, I think it's probably best to just get rid of this roundabout. Not sure why it was there in the first place. We might actually... Yeah, let's grab... We'll grab one of them, this Ashland station, and this one I believe can go like this. And I believe the road tile is already in the middle there. Yep. Okay. And then this is actually really quite simple. I don't know if we need another station. Yeah, we'll want another, probably 2 stations along this long strip here. I believe this is a bus station as well. Yep. We can get rid of that. Kind of interesting. Big hole in the middle there. We'll try and zone tighter around it. And yeah, so we can place the station first. I find works better. Not strictly necessary. Watch me start building and then realize that it I should do it the opposite way. But yep. And then we've got a simple elevated rail on road straight. There is one that has. You can kind of spread out. There's one with the pylon and there's one without the pylon. Oop, that's a curve. That's a corner. There we go. You can sort of spread out your pylons if you want to do that. I quite like doing that. We're going to need one for the street there. Kind of spread these out like that. Pick one. You can build right under this, which is kind of cool. Put a pylon there. There's ones over Ped Mall as well, which is kind of cool. And then we need one over a street there, so I'll just hold off on that for a second. It gets a bit tricky, as you can see here, in terms of being able to see. Can I do it in the zone view? Yeah, kind of. Overhanging piece or something there. It's not the best to do it in this view. A pylon. There's road somewhere here, but yeah. Okay. And then you don't want to do what I just did, which is press the delete button rather than the disconnector piece, but it's not the end of the world. Doesn't seem to have broken anything too crazy. And here we are again. There we go. Definitely need another station somewhere here. So I'm going to hold off on too much more of this for the time being. Now we just find the T intersection. Sorry, the elevated rail on road, street road intersection. This is actually a T intersection. T intersection. Oh, no, that's not the right one. You know what, though? It's fine. I'll fix that later. You just got to find the one with the street. Because I didn't extend... Yeah, that's right. I didn't extend these streets outward. So I actually probably do want intersections there. There was another one. Oh, there's one here. Street road intersection. Hit it to make sure it's kind of correct. Replace that one over there as well. Same thing here. And I'll be putting some kind of station here at some points. So I'm just going to I'm gonna leave it for now. In fact, I'll just put road back so that it's semi-functional for the time being. Just, put the road back here so that we don't lose all that like that. And I'll fix it. Probably continue this line. That's the basic gist. You can sort of see how that... Oh, I'm missing a... Yeah, I'm missing a dude here. T intersection 1, T intersection 2, plus intersection, street road intersection. Correct? Yes. And yeah, it's actually quite simple to use. This is kind of 2 very long blocks away. And then we'll put another one probably around here. And maybe one more here before the... before we go to the neighbor connection. We'll see. We'll see what makes sense. And yeah, I quite like that. I like these ones because they're visible from the regional view. Again, let's grab some office development. Hopefully that whole part of the city won't just fall apart because of, yeah, there's a bit of a mess around that station. I'll just let those buildings abandon. Delete them and rezone after. Trying to up the office demands. I might go and rezone. You'll notice that the residential demand is way down in this tile, which is kind of to be expected. If I lower the taxes, it will be fixed. But I actually kind of want to spread the office district here for now, so I'm not going to do it too much. I'm not going to worry too much about the kind of falling residential demand. Just going to look for some kind of busy areas of town and sort of spread the office districts in those areas. Like here, for example, I'm not even sure why this is not kind of dense. That's actually low density or whatever. Kind of extend maybe a second office district around here. If we get any interesting buildings coming up. Wow, yeah, that's really cool. Very interesting. I actually kind of like the 3 of them together like that. Or, you know what? Just the 2. Just the 2. Are they blocking each other's windows, though? No, that's cool. I think this is, Tallinn Tower. It's in Estonia, I think, right? Tallinn? I think that's from the Euro set, which I have not used a lot recently. Often using the Chicago and New York sets, but I'm trying to mix it up now in the central city. Anyway, we've used up our office demand. Gonna pop back out to the regional mode. I will we'll finish up this subway line. I think maybe next episode we'll do maybe all the subway lines. Maybe we'll do there's gonna be a subway line going into every surrounding tile. So that'll be next episode. I think we'll do a subway or a mass transit regional plan, kind of like we did for the highways. I think it's necessary. I think otherwise we can't really ad-lib it anymore. Otherwise things are going to get real messy real fast. So this line will be extended down here. And that way as we build, we haven't built this area yet, if I'm not mistaken. We sort of are working our way around here. So kind of having that line there. There's the rail there already. There's the highway. And we'll see where all that goes, but sort of having some lines ready so that as we work around the edge of the city, we'll be filling in these spaces, putting in some parks, and, you know, just generally giving the city what it needs to expand and to cover this area. And as I said, I've got the spam mod installed, and I have some really interesting ideas about how to incorporate agriculture into this now sprawling metropolitan region of... I want to see the population. I want to see the regional population. My god, okay. 503,000. Awesome. I knew we'd hit 500k this episode. Anyway, as usual, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and like and all that happy shit. And you can also check out the Plantation Bay. You can check out Plantation Bay too if you want, but you can check out Honestville Extra on Twitch. And this Sunday, I will be doing a live stream, YouTube live events, where I try to get the large international airports kind of maxed out to capacity or whatever as fast as I can in a sort of speedrun type play. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.